Muskoka continues to avoid new COVID-19 cases for now. We talk Huntsville Council highlights with the local mayor. And Charmaine Broughton is back, this time in quarantine. All that and more coming up right now. Welcome to Kojiko News for April 30th. I'm James Bowler with what's happening in your community. Well, once again, there are no new infections of COVID-19 to report in Muskoka. As we begin to see a plateau, municipal officials are preparing for what comes next.
All in favor? And that carries.
Huntsville Town Council met yesterday. On the agenda was providing support for struggling local businesses as well as an update on streetscape. The Zoom meeting was a marathon, coming in at over 4 hours. And joining me now from her home office is KARIN TERZIANO from the town of Huntsville. KARIN, thanks very much for taking the time today.
Good morning, James.
So, KARIN, I want to talk a bit about yesterday's council meeting, and I know there's been a lot happening with the town and chatting about supports for the community and trying to get back to some level of normalcy or planning that out. First of all, can you tell me a bit about what you're hearing from the community so far in terms of the business?
It's interesting. We talked a great deal about businesses yesterday because we actually passed a pretty good resolution to establish a $500,000 COVID relief fund primarily for business, I guess, and community. Some councillors have been hearing something from businesses. Some councillors have not been hearing anything. Myself, I haven't heard directly from the business community. I think we all know that everybody's struggling, but we hope that they're applying for and receiving some of the federal and provincial programs that are out there for businesses right now.
So let's talk. I do want to talk about that committee, just because it seemed to be a high point of discussion there.
So just for clarity, the Economic Development Working Group was something that was in the works before COVID-19. This is not a group that was appointed to deal with COVID-19. We set up an economic development group, and we just didn't get our council meeting in place in March to appoint them. So these folks were asked to be on an economic development working group pre-COVID-19.
Okay, so who are the people that are on the committee?
So the people appointed to that group were David Kaplan, Corey Clark, Kyra Waters. I don't have my list in front of me right now. And Kenneth Donald. And
okay.
then Councillor Bob Stone is on that committee as well. So when it really struck me that we were missing the Economic Development Working Group was when we had the applications to replace my position on the town ward. And if you recall, we had 11 really good applicants from that. So two of those people came out of that group. David Kaplan, who has quite a bit of digital experience and knowledge, and Corey Clark, who is a businessman and a realtor in town. Kyra Waters is a marketing, has marketing skills, great marketing skills, owns the well-known company. And Kenneth Donald was a previous business owner, certainly, and actually was on the previous Economic Development Working Group a few years ago. So we think it's a pretty good cross of people there with some great skills. And the idea is when we deal with specific issues, we will go out to the community and bring in additional folks with special skill sets as we need them.
Okay. One thing that stands out to me, KARIN, is that I don't see anyone from the BIA or Chamber on this working group. Is that specifically designed, or is there a chance to involve those people?
No, it's specific because they would be an asset to the group. They would be two organizations that we would reach out with and collaborate.
So let's talk about the 500,000. Now, is that 500,000 tied to this working group? You were talking about that being sort of a relief fund.
No.
Okay.
That's a COVID relief fund set up. It's not tied to the Economic Development Working Group.
Okay, so tell me a bit about that fund and what you're hoping to do with that.
Really what we're hoping to do is to put some funds aside so that we can be there as we come out of this disaster, to help people who have fallen through the cracks from federal and provincial funding, or that just didn't get enough help. And we are definitely restricted by what we can and can't do as a municipality. There's rules, MISKO Act, but we wanted to have the funds set aside so that when we found ways to help, we could do that.
So how will this sort of be discussed? I'm assuming this is going to be a constant, like an application process, obviously, but this is going to be reviewed by council?
Yeah, we don't have the parameters yet. Yesterday was just the first step, setting the money into a reserve, and we will now work on the parameters, and we will do that through our all of the different groups that we collaborate with, including the Chamber and the BIA and the MAP Board and our own economic development.
Now, the other thing I want to bring up, Karen, was the discussion regarding streetscape, because I did talk about this a bit with Mark MISKO, and I think the conversations have been happening. I talked to Kelly Haywood about it too, because we're looking at streetscape being next summer, but also, I mean, we've pretty much, I think we know we've lost this summer as an economic gain for local businesses. So, is there any discussion right now about possibly pushing ahead streetscape?
Yeah, we've heard some comments from the BIA about wondering about the possibility of not doing streetscape in 21, but pushing it to 22. This is a district project, and we will have to talk to the district about that. Their concerns will be, failures every time we push it off a year, whether the pipes underground would fail. So what we did yesterday is we made some decisions on what we think the final design should look like. The decision as to when streetscape happens, whether it's in 21 or 22, will probably not be made until September. Okay. But we want to have the drawings done regardless of which year we do it.
So tell me about the design selection process. What have we do we have a final decision yet on that, or are we moving towards one of these options?
I think the three resolutions we came up with yesterday were on three specific areas. One was Kent Park, and we had two options in Kent Park. One that was very concrete, and the other one had more greenery in it. And council elected to go with the one that had more greenery. The other was the crosswalks. Originally, the design had two crosswalks in it, and the engineers have been very clear with us that there's not enough space between the lights at Center and the lights at Brunel to put two crosswalks in. So we have downsized that to one crosswalk at the corner of West and Main. And then the other issue was about the on-street parking and the wider sidewalks. So we ended up with an option that reduced parking a little bit, but had some wider bump out sidewalks in a couple of different areas, as opposed to no bump outs at all and full parking. So we're probably down about 12 parking spots, but we're also going to look at some alternatives on streets behind Main to see if we can increase parking there.
Okay. Do we have any idea of cost yet, or the possibility of what this final cost could be?
The project that we basically approved yesterday is in the $2 million range.
Okay. I just want to circle back, Karen, to the district versus town discussion on who's running this project. Because when I talk to the district, they tend to say that it's a town project. So you're telling me specifically this is a district-led project?
It is a district project because the project originates with the water and sewer underneath the road and the road. The part that's town is what we replace as far as sidewalks go and the amenities on the sidewalk portion.
I see. Okay.
Main Street is a district road, and they are fully responsible for the road, and they would be responsible to put the sidewalk back as it is today. But where the town got involved is we want to do some serious enhancements to that. So that piece of it is our responsibility as far as the payment of it and the decisions on it, but it will be tendered out as part of the district project.
I understand. So it's a bit of a partnership. It's much what
Yeah.
Bracebridge did with Ecclestone. It's you're taking advantage of the district needing to do this work.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
Okay, so those discussions, as you're saying, will probably happen in September?
Yeah, that decision I think will be made in September.
Perfect. KARIN, thank you for taking the time for updating all of us on these tidbits. I know not everyone has an opportunity to watch these meetings all the time, so it's nice to get the sort of, condensed version of what's happening. So appreciate you doing that.
Okay, good
Thanks
talking
again.
to you, James.
All right, we are going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back. The OPP recently executed a major takedown at Tim Hortons in Bracebridge. Constable Samantha Bigley tells us more about this recent bust.
Yesterday, the Muskoka Community Street Crime Unit, along with Tactics and Rescue Unit, arrested 2 people after a month-long investigation into drug trafficking. So 2 people were arrested and charged with a variety of criminal and Controlled Drugs and Substances Act offenses. And quite a quantity of product was seized, approximately $75,000 in street value in cocaine, oxycodone, and fentanyl was seized, along with $30,000 in Canadian currency, loaded handgun, prohibited handgun, along with ammunition, a crossbow, prohibited knives, the list goes on. It was quite a sizable seizure, and will no doubt make a significant impact into the drug trafficking in this area.
And while Streetscape is still a ways off, major construction is going on right now, just down the street from downtown Huntsville. King William is back to being dissected once again as the district continues its work from last summer to replace the aging infrastructure below the surface. Despite the influence of COVID-19 affecting some construction work, this particular rehabilitation was deemed essential, allowing the district to kick off work right on schedule, according to manager MISKO.
We'd messaged earlier this year that we'd like to start as early as possible. We're ahead. There's still half load restrictions on the roadways. This road is exempt outside of those restrictions anyways, so we can start as early as possible. We're fortunate in that we didn't have a recurrence last year of the high water levels that we saw come through the entire district. So we were able to start a bit earlier, and the weather's been, I would say, kinder than most years coming out of winter to us. So we were able to start optimistically as early as we wanted to on this one. And, we got the construction mobilized out there.
But that does mean major detours once again, closures, and some struggles for local businesses.
To be honest, it's tough to tell exactly when those closures will be lifted, but we are using a staged approach to these closures. So we still have that phasing that was originally part of the contract. You're seeing between Ferry and Can Street at this point. So we'd be opening those up as the job progressed forward and as they become available for full traffic operations. So there are some localized shutdowns now. Part of that is to try and accelerate the schedule on this job. Another part is that they've really been challenged to find another laydown area that's sufficiently close to the job. So they are storing some material within the job site, and that's necessitating the need for some of the operational or traffic constraints you're seeing.
So the question is, will this work be completed as originally planned by the end of this year?
it is construction, so it's tough to say exactly what the future holds. There's no magic crystal ball that we can give a firm end date on this, but we're looking at as many options as we can to accelerate the schedule. One of those being you'll see them working out there this Saturday. So we're starting to extend some of the working hours. And then the Saturdays moving forward, there's also some potential to work there. So we're going to take that on a week-to-week basis to try and maintain the schedule as much as possible. You know, we're always looking at different construction methods and options to see if we can accelerate the work. If we can, we'd love to.
We're back to the break, but stay tuned for details on a show you can catch this weekend. Welcome back, and joining me now is our very own celebrity chef, Charmaine Broughton from Inchar's Kitchen. Thanks very much, Charmaine, for joining us.
Oh, my absolute pleasure. James, you forgot the quarantine edition part.
Well, I was going to get to that. You cut me off already. So just to announce that Charmaine is returning with Inchar's Kitchen Quarantine Edition. So Charmaine, tell me a bit about what we can expect during these new episodes, bonus episodes we like to call them, coming up.
Yeah, so I'm so excited about this series. I'm really, focusing on utilizing all those awesome pantry staples right now because we want to be avoiding unnecessary trips to the grocery store. So I'm putting a unique spin on all of those pantry staples like cans of tuna and lentils and peanuts and peanut butter and pasta. And hey, even a can of sweetened condensed milk. Check out this double-decker fudge.
It looks delicious. Charmaine, this is a kind of stressful time for people, and I think a lot of people are they've been enjoying watching your episodes overall, but this does bring sort of a nice break from the stress for people. How do you plan out, because you are such a sort of vibrant and chatty person, how do you plan out these episodes and really think about bringing people that joy?
Well, I mean, my whole goal has always been to just inspire people to get into the kitchen, whether we're going through this or even on a good day. So I really just try to use, take those pantry staples and incorporate other ingredients into them that aren't completely out there. So utilizing things really that people likely already have on hand, and or if they're going out to the grocery store, then those items are readily available. Again, I want people to be able to recreate my recipes with ease. I'm all about delicious and doable, and nothing would bring me more joy than to know that people are at home, maybe in their kitchen, having some fun, spending time together if you still want to do that with your family, and recreating fabulous, delicious food.
So Charmaine, In Char's Kitchen Quarantine Edition starting this Sunday at 7 p.m. This is going to be a one-on-one experience, so you're going to get full Charmaine, but we will look forward to having the regular episodes of In Char's Kitchen with special guests coming soon.
Thanks, James. Thank you so much, and I hope everyone stays, healthy and safe at home.
All right, thanks again, Charmaine. We are going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back. Well, a major fundraiser is set to debut this weekend that YourTV is proud to support.
Hi, join us for a one-of-a-kind stay-at-home gala on Saturday, May 2nd. The Muskoka Virtual Gala will join hundreds of Canadians from across the country and will host all of the familiar elements of a gala. Local and national music, game-changing speakers, and even the option to have a gourmet dinner delivered right to your door. The Muskoka Gala will be time to unite people from all across Muskoka to strengthen and support each of our community's efforts to help with our healthcare workers, our food security programs, and even vulnerable women during this difficult time. Social distancing at its finest. So, don your best and log on, let's party together. To register and to learn more, visit trellis.org, Stay at Home Gala Muskoka. Cheers.
Help us to help provide the equipment we need during these challenging and difficult times.
Hi there, it's Catherine Crane from Huntsville Hospital Foundation. Please help us as we help our frontline healthcare workers during the COVID-19 crisis. Everything you do will be so appreciated. Thank you, and be safe.
Please help us to assist vulnerable women and children during this difficult time of COVID-19.
On behalf of all food banks in Muskoka, we want to say thank you to our amazing community and donors who keep thinking of us, who bring food, who donate online. We're so grateful for you all. Thanks for not forgetting us.
And with that, we're going to take our last break, but when we come back, BRIAR Summers returns with Muskoka on stage.
Are you looking to break away from the monotony of being stuck inside? Well, why not check out one of these great shows coming up in Muskoka? On Thursday evening, you can tune into some local beats by joining Hunters Bay Radio for Quarantunes, which will feature a new local artist every week. This week, it's Matt Allen. Head over to the Hunters Bay Radio Facebook page to get more details on this online live show. Get your filling of folk from the comfort of your home with the Young Novelists. This Toronto duo will be performing for Muskoka's entertainment fans through Zoom on Sunday, and you can find more details by going to the Huntsville Festival of the Arts Facebook page. And get your tickets now for a very special virtual concert from Twin Flames. Twin Flames pushes the boundaries of contemporary folk with Indigenous Inuit-influenced songs that incorporate both Western and traditional instruments. Tickets are on sale now for this May 10th concert through Huntsville Festival of the Arts, which gets you access to the private Zoom presentation. If you're still not sure about this amazing duo, here's a bit of what you can expect during the virtual show. That's it for this week, but make sure to tune in again next week for some more awesome virtual shows.
That's Kojiko News. For more information on the program, head over to yourtv.tv or connect with us on social media. And remember to watch us live at 5 Monday to Thursday. From everyone here at Kojiko News, thanks for watching.